بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، الصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم ألهمنا مراشد أمورنا وأعذنا من شرور أنفسنا. So in the last few weeks we spoke about wudu. The word wudu comes from the word wada'a. Wada'a means bright, to shine. Wada'a yuwaddi'u means to make something shine. So one is that a person understood wudu to be washing. If you wash your car doesn't shine. If you clean the floor, it doesn't shine. That word wada'a itself shows that when this person washes, it is not only, as one hadith mentioned, that every sin is removed from that limb which he washes. When he washes the face, even the eye, when normally you don't put water in the eye. When the face is washed, the eye is normally closed. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, but from that eye, كل خطيئة نظرت إليها, whatever evil he looked at, that there drops مع قطر الماء أو مع آخر قطر الماء. As that water is dropping, that sin is also coming. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when he washes his hands, then until what is under the nail, again under the nail no one washes. But there are so many places where you'll never think water is going. And how that water searches. Whenever you try and wash anything around you, you have to get the water to certain places. And even when you try, it doesn't reach. And there are certain dirts which are so stubborn that no matter how much water passes over, it just passes. But wudu is such that it doesn't just end with ghusl. That wording showed wada'a. That when that individual makes his wudu, his entire body starts shining. That shine is a very mubarak shine. It's an invitation to the angels to come. And it's a warning for the shayateen, stay away. That is called wada'a. I am now shining. مَعَ قَطْرِ الْمَاءُ مَعَ آخِرِ قَطْرِ الْمَاءِ. As ma, that if that water, Hanifa rahimullah, when he was asked, that if that water has to fall on something, that he saw the napaki in it. They gave is that he saw the napaki in it. They will see the benefits in the year after, it will make it shine. Will benefits in the after, never will it like show people in the same. And the explanation of isbaghul wudu was this: the same water. You don't need lot water. It is more just rubbing. You rub nice and hard to make sure everything has got its share of water. Even very little water, but if your rub is hard, so isbaghul wudu. So the hadith we're discussing now is the same one. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said that the person who will make wudu, and he said فَيُبْلِغُ الْوُضُوء, and in one narration فَيُسْبِغُ الْوُضُوء. So there's an isbagh. Iblagh, isbagh. He makes sure the water reaches him. Yusbighu al-wudu, he makes a proper wudu. So the proper wudu is the same. It doesn't take an extra 1 minute. Because 3 times everyone has been washing 3 times. No one is cutting corners. The only thing is that person who's making it, if he's making it with that understanding, that as I'm rubbing here, a lot of dirt is coming out, and a lot of shine is being put on. If you ever could see the shine coming in your car when you're washing it, you will see how that person shines extra. He gets happy with the shine. With wuzu, you must get happy of that shine. That the dirt is coming out. Yusbighul wudu, yublighul wudu. There's a law that what is dirt, it attracts dirt. So if the kitchen is dirty, then after a while the cockroach will definitely come. But if something is clean, then even if that rat comes, there is one waqi of that person came to the Khalif and he complained. So it was a unique complaint he made. He said, no rats are in my house. He said, no rats are in my house. So the person was wondering what is he trying to say? The other person understood that he's saying there's no food in his house. He's so poor that even the rats have told, don't go to this house here. No rats come. So if the house is clean, this cockroach is not going to come in. But dirt attracts dirt. If this hand, which the hadith mentioned, batashatha, that there were those evils which the hand grabbed. So he says that sin now remains on the hand. And this is what is known as ihsan. The one ihsan is when you worship Allah as though you are seeing Allah. With that there comes all of this, that what the world cannot see, in the light of the sunnah you see it. So see the wording of the hadith said, when you wash this, then that sin that is there, as that water drops off, that sin is dropping off. So if you understood so much, now let's go 1 second backwards. What happened before that wuzu was made? Before that wuzu was made, it means from the last time you made that sin. That dirt, that sin had created dirt. That's why you said now it dropped off. And it gave such a stench perhaps that if Imam Abu Hanifa rahimullah saw it, it had to be so dirty for him to say najasat-e ghaliza this is. But now that dirt was here. And that dirt was here. It was the hand that did something dirty. So normally we just say, I made tawbah. But have you ever done this here and looked at your hand? Because if you eat food and you feel sticky, you'll never sit. You will just feel uncomfortable. And if that hand is sticky and you go to sleep, you're definitely going to invite that insect. Something is going to come. Comes in the narration. The man who does not clean himself and he goes to, and if something bites him at night, he should blame no one but himself. Because he invited that rat, that insect. He invited. Once upon a time in our room, there were holes that time, like how we got this hole now. So there was those big rats. They used to be all over. You could hear them at night moving, but they couldn't find the entrance holes. So one night, my one friend woke up and he heard his other friend laughing, giggling. Don't tickle me, stop it. So for some reason he's wondering what's happening, and he put on the light and it was that small rat, or big rat, biting at his poor toe. So now if he never washed that toe before sleeping, don't blame anyone but yourself. So if that finger was little bit dirty, even the rat would come for it. Now if this hand is dirty, because of sin, so you don't expect the angels to be around this hand. But you are going to be attracting a lot of shaitani filth. As you will walk, the jinn which are dirty and they like dirt, they will automatically be attracted. Someone says, what's attracting? It's my hand. It's my face. There's no shine. There's a stench. Because once I make that wudu, if this thing is falling off, and it was so dirty it could be called ghaliza, highest filth, then when it was on my body it meant also terrible. Now that person, when he makes this wudu, فَيُسْبِغُ الْوُضُوء, because he gets so happy, not only is dirt coming out, but wada, that with this little water it's shining. And normally you don't shine after that. You'll have to bring something else to shine it. So much of barakah in this wudu. Wada, it will make you shine. Shine in the year after, that's different. Here we're speaking about in this world you will start shining. So now when that hand moves, what we learn from this is that especially batashatha, every sin which the hand grabbed. So we're living in an era today, that in the past the hand would grab hardly. There was a girl walking in front and the man would hold her hand and say, hey. And then she would pull her hand back and say, what you want? And say, oh sorry. That was called batashatha. He grabbed her. It was easy to tell that man. He would come and say, hey, what I did, I grabbed a woman. Say, quickly go and make wudu, wash your hand, take out that dirt. But today's time, that phone is in our hand a lot. And we know sometimes when we grab and what we press, It is not always clean. If a person knows that there is dirt on his hand, then at least as soon as you realize, try and wash this hand. Make it clean. At least don't go to sleep with a napak body. So if the body has engaged in some haram, then through the barakah of this hadith, let that eye be created that I can see the dirt that has come on my hand. So if a person had eaten a chocolate, they'll tell him, go and brush your teeth, make miswak. Because if you leave it there at night, that's when germs will attack when you're not moving. That's when the germs will attack. And you will get rotten teeth before you know it. So if the hand has engaged in dirt, then don't go to sleep with a dirty hand. At least make that wuzu. One barakah of that wuzu before sleeping is that at least you sleep shiny. The one who sleeps clean, a lot of angels come around him because they love clean. Because they are around him, jinn don't come to him. The jinn, they just stay away. He's shining. He's giving out a unique shine. So the hadith said that one who makes wuzu, فَيُسْبِغُ الْوُضُوء, and he makes a good wudu, يُبْلِغُ الْوُضُوء, he makes the water reach everywhere. And at the end of the wudu now he says, so think about this, wudu we all making. Isbagh of wuzu, a good wuzu, we are making it. Because 3 times. The only thing is we're not rubbing with that feeling that I'm shining my body. All you have to do is that. Have that feeling when you're rubbing it. So 2 things we are doing. Is that feeling that we don't have. And at the ending, majority of the people, they do make the dua. Some dua or the other. It is not based only on this dua. Had it been based only on this dua, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam would never have taught any other dua for after wudu. This dua was just to show you how happy Allah becomes once wuzu is done. How happy. So Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that at the end of the wuzu, he just says, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Another narration will be the same, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. So whether you say shahadi, Ashhadu an la ilaha wa bihamdi, Ashhadu an la ilaha. So it shows so many different duas. So on that first one, that Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Almighty Allah, for him has 8 doors of Jannah opened up. So it is a thing of ihsan, this thing. Comes in one narration that after that, you can even look up and smile. So why will you smile? You will smile if you are seeing the doors of Jannah open. 8 doors of Jannah opened. يَدْخُلُ مِنْ أَيِّهِمَا شَاءَ, and he will be told, whichever one you want, take it. 8 doors of Jannah. Imagine if a person makes wuzu 5 times a day, 6 times a day. With that wuzu, nothing has happened yet. He hasn't performed a salah. He hasn't read Quran. That wuzu has been regarded as, this is just like a wasila, a means to something else. But in this wuzu, Allah Tabarak Ta'ala has kept so much of spiritual power. So much. That just that dua at the ending of the wuzu opened up the doors of Jannah, that you Jannati already. Why will you be Jannati? Because you're shining. As though your mother just gave birth to you. You came out, you were a little dirty to your mother, so clean. Now handed you over to your mother, so clean. The person who makes wuzu is like that. Because the doors of Jannah don't open up to the dirty person. The doors of Jannah open up when someone is clean. 8 doors of Jannah, all opened. It is with wudu that the masjid, which is known that dirty people must not come to the masjid. Quran, which is known, La yamassuhu illa al-mutahharun. We will not let anyone touch this except the one who's pure. But we all know we are not al-mutahharun. Mutahharun means people who are really clean. Really clean means inside, outside, you're supposed to be clean. The masjid is a place for people who are clean inside, outside. Outside definitely, it's supposed to be inside. Because the masjid is the markaz of the angels. This wudu allows you to enter the masjid without any problem. And you are so clean in the eyes of the angels that it comes in the narration, after the salah or before the salah, he's sitting there. As long as the salah is keeping him there, the angels continuously are making dua for him. Allahumma gfir lahu, Allahumma arhamhu, Allah forgive him, Allah have mercy on him. And it comes until the wuzu breaks. Soon as the wuzu breaks, what happens? Why did the angels stop making that dua? Because to stay in the masjid without wuzu is not haram. You can stay in the masjid. But as soon as that wuzu breaks, it seems man's reality comes out. So the angels also pull away, as though you're not supposed to be here. Otherwise they'll carry on making dua for him. He's a good man. He's sleeping in the masjid. But it's that wuzu that puts such a shine around that person, that it became one his shield. Waba, it made him shine. It became a satir. He said at a certain time you must come. So he said at a certain time you must come. Then so the next day when he went, then before he started, the ustad just said to him that, in this ilm of ours. So he said that was the kashf of his teacher. That how did he see I don't have work? He said that was the last time that he ever went to the class when out was. So there was a visit that one buzuruk, but he gets too much kashf. Visit that one buzuruk, but he gets too much kashf. So I'm scared now if I come to him and then he says, mustn't shout your wife so much. So it's not nice. So they are wuzu does. So much wuzu does. The angels continue making dua as long as that wuzu is there. At the end of the wuzu, you just said this, and you are so clean at that moment. But away from hasad, we never clean it from hasad, malice, love of dunya. Those are those things which a person is entering. And he even got an atom of pride, he will not be allowed to enter into paradise. Even an atom of pride. Everything is so filthy. Have been mentioned in the sunnah. Few du'as have been mentioned in the sunnah while thinking of any good thing. Oh Allah, this hand. Be thinking of any good thing. Oh Allah, during wuzu. Nicely over the sirat, you can think of anything during wuzu. In any dhikr you engage, but only that person who will be doing shine. And I want the shine, I am starting the shine. And I want the shine to remain till Qiyamah. You see the dirt falling off, one dirt fall off. Hand went back second, now the shine started. So few du'as, one is Bismillah at the beginning. Whether it's Bismillah, Bismillah walhamdulillah, Bismillah walhamdulillah ala deen Islam. We have Bismillah at the beginning. Li fi dari, wa wassi'li fi dari, wa barik li fi rizqi. Oh Allah, forgive my sins. And it's a du'as that we all know. Firli dhambi. Wa wassi'li fi dari. Oh Allah, grant me. At the time of fitan. They ask, comes at the time of fitan. They ask Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam what to do. So one he said that look after your tongue. Second he said, وَلْيَسَعْكَ بَيْتُكَ. Let your house be spacious for you. And then third he said, وَوَسِّعْلِي فِي دَارِي. Oh Allah, in my house open up. This is a dua for many things. One is that fitan must never come to me. Because وَلْيَسَعْكَ بَيْتُكَ. If your house is spacious for you, meaning evil will not come in. Because having a spacious house meant how to be safe from fitan. So make my house protected from fitan. وَوَسِّعْلِي. A house spacious is a house where you get no problems, no depression. Because when a man falls in sin, like those Sahaba radiallahu anhum who never went for the battle of Tabuk, Allah Tabarak Ta'ala said, ضَاقَتْ عَلَيْهِمُ الْأَرْضِ. That the land became tight now. Even though the land got lot of space. So whenever a problem comes in life, that wus'at is taken away. And when there's no problems, now you got space. So in there, oh Allah, save me from fitan. Oh Allah, save me from problems. There'll be no problems with your wife, with your child, with your own body. That's called wus'at fi dar. One alim, he mentioned, I was sitting in that gathering and he told another alim, that he says, Hazrat, you remember that one time I told you, buy a house. Because if you don't buy a house, then what happens if one day, grant me a spacious sari. He said, this is that house. I said, MashaAllah, MashaAllah. So don't always start reading it now for the house. So we want not only you buy a house, there are a lot of people who bought their own house, and now they're trying to pay it off for 20 years. Poor people in their house, they got no happiness. We want wus'at fi dar. Everything is open. Everything. وَبَارِكْ لِي فِي رِزْقِي. And in my sustenance, let there only be goodness in it. What I buy must come with goodness. What I give must be given with goodness. Imagine these 3 du'as. It covered your entire dunya and deen. So it's one du'a during your wuzu. One is Bismillah. One is Allahumma ghfir li dhanbi. And one is at the end of the wuzu. Like how we mentioned the shahada. Or you mentioned the dua of kafara of the majlis. Subhanallah wa bihamdi. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruk. Or you just mentioned Allahumma ja'alni min at-tawwabin wa ja'alni min al-mutatahhirin. Or you got enough time coming from the wuzu khana to the masjid, so you say, let me make the best of it. All the du'as. Why at that time? It's mentioned which du'as are readily accepted. So one is just after your farz salah. Or at the ending of the salah. Why? Because Almighty Allah has become so happy with that salah that all your sins are like maaf. So say if you want to ask now. Similarly after wudu, as soon as wudu takes place, you are the cleanest in the world. And in the next 2 minutes when you start talking again, little bit dirt will start coming. The tongue will get dirty, but the heart will get dirty. But as soon as the wuzu is finished, at that moment, because of that barakah of Bismillah, which one narration says everything becomes pure, where water touched and where water did not touch. One place that water did not touch is this heart. Everything becomes pure. As soon as we will leave the wuzu khana and start walking, you're going to see someone. When you look at him, you'll think bad about him, so a little bit dirt came. Then you'll go and touch something, little dirt. But from the time of the wuzu until that dirt, you are the purest in the world. At that time, how much dua you can make your duas. Understand you are so pure that the 8 doors of Jannah all open up. Say, you are clean, I'm ready for you, I'm ready for you, I'm ready for you. And every door is ready for you. And obviously your dua that goes up, the heavens will open up for your dua. Because it's going from a clean tongue, from a clean hand. May Allah Tabarak Ta'ala make us, through the barakah of wuzu, from that one low level of people who just make wuzu, let us rise to that level of those who have yaqeen in the fadail of wuzu. And Allah then take us to the level of those people who had a chance to enjoy the company of Al-Mala'ul A'la. And purity then becomes part of our fitrat. And to be able to shine. One hadith Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, the one who wants to make his shine last longer also, then let him make it last longer. Which we will explain inshallah in the future. But this is wudu. Again, to cap up the whole thing, the name of wudu is wada. You are going to shine. So when a man wants to shine, already he gets thrilled. Second, if every dirt is falling off with the drops of water, it means before the wuzu, the dirt is also on my arm. So if the dirt is on my arm and I'm walking to the masjid and I think to myself, do I have wuzu or not? Then just because I got wuzu, don't walk past the wuzu khana. Because the second thing, think about, is there any dirt on my hand? And I'm sure our bodies are such that if the phone is in the pocket, there's dirt in the hand already. So just look and say, there's definitely dirt. There's dirt in the heart, there's dirt on the hand, there's dirt in the eye, there's dirt on the tongue. Rather let me go and make a wuzu again. Why don't I get clean? So one is shine, one is if the dirt is going to fall off, it means it is there. And the third is, two things we're missing. One is that ihsan when making that wuzu. And the other is that rub. A nice rub, because we are putting on a cream. So a nice rub, and the thought, napaki is falling off, and a shine is coming on. So clean I am that even Jannah is saying, you mine now. At that time, whatever dua I want to make that dua. Mullah Ali Qari Rahimullah ended this hadith, وَجْعَلْنِي مِنَ الْمُتَطَهِّرِينَ. In this sentence, he says, as though the servant is saying to Allah, that what was in my ability to make these lumps pure with water, I did it. And now what's in your power, Allah, to make this heart pure, that you must do now. What was in my power to use water on the lumps, I did it. Now what is by you, Allah, to make the heart clean, now you do that. May Allah tabarak ta'ala through the barakah of wuzu clean our inside, clean our outside. Wa akhir da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.